Phil, you might have heard me ask Brandon, with him, or like as far as the ball game goes, how would you approach that decision to play if you guys are invited and accept that invitation?
I would approach it like any other week. It's an opportunity. So I would be thrilled to have a bowl game, and I'm sure a lot of other guys would be too.
Yeah, how for you, Phil? This being your sixth year, how's I guess it's always a senior year you weren't really expecting necessarily, but how would you assess how this time has been for you? And I don't know, are you giving any thought to coming back for a seventh year?
Yeah, I've given thoughts about it. That way I could, set the record and be in the Guinness World Record book for longest college football player. But to be honest, I don't know. I've thought towards it, and I've thought also about leaving, but I might be leaning towards, leaving. I'm going to talk to the coaches, though.
John Long.
Hi, Phil. Coach White was on here earlier talking about how difficult this year has been for him personally and how many teaching opportunities there was for him with the team and the players. I didn't know, what have you learned about yourself this year?
I've learned to just be grateful because COVID could have easily taken, this season away from me and a lot of other guys. And, my season got taken away from me last year. And then I put in a lot of work, and then COVID happened, and they were like, well, we might not have a season. So I really just was thankful for my opportunities because I know it could just be snatched away, whether it's injury or now pandemics. So I just learned how to be grateful and thankful and realize, my blessings.
Yeah, that type of adversity, you can only learn things like that through adversity, and you're lucky to have learned that at your young age. So.
Exactly.
Lee K.
Phil, coming off a couple of disappointing games against Alabama and Florida, just how important is it from a player's perspective to finish out the regular season with a win over South Carolina at home, final home game for a lot of guys?
I feel like it's very important. This is a lot of guys' last ride, but I think more regardless if we win or lose, because winning is important, but I like to see us compete regardless if it came down to like the Ole Miss game 34-35. I like to see us compete, and I like to see my brothers go as hard as they possibly can for each other. So that's what it comes down to for me. But yeah, I would like to win. Everyone would like to win. Everybody likes to win, and nobody likes to lose, especially not ending a season or a regular season on an L. I don't want to do that. So we're all gonna, go as hard as we can to get this W at all costs.
Josh? Phil, asked the offensive guys this yesterday, and I'd like your perspective. What do you think, from your time in the program to now, it's obviously made a lot of growth. What do you think needs to happen for guys coming in, in the future? Well, what do they need to do to keep that going in the right direction for UK to keep, moving up?
I feel like, when I initially got here, things weren't how they are now, and Coach Stoops has done a great job of changing the culture and bringing in guys who want to help change the culture. He's brought in a lot of blue-collar and rough guys, but I feel like for that to continue growing and building, that Coach Stoops just needs to keep, coaching like he's been, and the other guys recruiting how they've been, and the legacy that we leave is what will teach the younger guys, okay, this is how you're supposed to do it, this is when you're supposed to do it, and, that's how we'll win together, just keep building off of that.
Thanks, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff?
Hey, Phil, I think everybody knew going into the season it'd be a tough physical challenge with 10 SEC games, but can you kind of talk about the mental and psychological side of battling through everything you guys have faced this year and being at this point in the season?
Yeah, of course. The SEC schedule is definitely tough. It's very physical, but guys like me, I love physical. To be honest, this season has been very exhausting for a lot of guys, especially with all we've been through. You know, school-wise, team-wise, the loss of brothers, the loss of mentors, and even things outside of school. You know, personal things. It's difficult for a lot of guys, and just the fact that, you know, a lot of us are still out here and a lot of us are still grinding, it just shows the character of a lot of guys and the willpower to get through whatever. So I respect a lot of guys for, you know, how they're approaching this.
All right, anybody else? Josh, you got any anime questions for Phil? You don't need to talk about that again?
Yeah, sure. What would Rock Lee say going into this last game?
What would Rock Lee say? Just to give it your all, no matter what. And if you feel like you're losing, just keep going hard. Just keep going hard.
All right, guys. We'll see you with Coach Dukes after practice tomorrow. Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.